Welcome to At Home with Music and Happy New Year. Here we are at the beginning of another year. I remember when I was in 6th grade and I calculated how old I would be in the year 2000. Now, when I was in 6th grade, it was 1969, so 2000 seemed quite a way off. Anyway, I determined that I would be 42 years old when we reached that milestone year. I never thought I would live that long. But here we are, 25 years later. And if you do a little math, you can figure out how old I really am. Now, I'm certainly not a prophet, so I can't tell you what's going to happen in 2025 when it comes to politics or the weather or history. However, I can tell you what you could make happen when it comes to making music. And so what I want to share with you in this video are some things that you can do to make progress in your music making in 2025. First of all, develop your practice routine. You can't really progress if you never practice. I should say you can't really progress if you never practice. Well, anyway, what should you practice? Well, obviously, you should never stop refining your scales, your arpeggios, learning chord progressions. You also want to continue developing finger dexterity and control. These are basically fundamentals that you need in order to be able to play and appreciate any style of music that you want to play. And I'll be talking more about this in the coming year. You want to continue your studies in music theory. Now, I've said this before on the channel, don't let the term music theory put you off. All music theory really is simply learning how music works, learning how scales and chords are constructed, studying concepts such as cadences, modulation, modes, key signatures, learning how to analyze a song, any piece of music. And of course, this is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to music theory, to use an old cliche. Now, I must admit, I have a soft spot in my heart for music theory. After all, I have a degree in this field of study. I know how valuable music theory can be when it comes to learning new songs and gaining a greater appreciation of music in general. So speaking about music appreciation, I would encourage you to learn about and listen to and even learn to play music from a wide variety of genres. It's all too easy to limit yourself to a certain type of music. Now, you may be a big fan of country music, rock and roll, show tunes, standards. You may love romantic classical music, and those things are all great. But remember, there are many other styles of music to explore, far too many to name here. And so over the course of this year, we will name many of them, and I plan to help you discover them. I would encourage you to go out and hear live music. You don't have to spend a lot of money to go hear someone famous, although that can certainly be fun. After all, a lot of people spent a lot of money last year to go hear Taylor Swift. I've had the privilege of hearing many great artists in my life, famous artists. When my wife and I were first married, one of our wedding gifts were tickets to go see Pete Seeger and Arlo Guthrie in concert. Now, this was back in 1981. But we were also involved in the local music community, especially when we lived in Florida. And we became friends with and went to hear several local musicians and songwriters. And since my wife and I are both musicians and songwriters, we had the chance to play at countless open mics and songwriter nights. Basically, we went out and heard live musicians, both famous and folks that operated under the radar, but were also very talented, put out some wonderful music. We listened to many local musicians, and I had the opportunity to record many of them when I ran my recording studio. So look for live music wherever you are. Sometimes listening to a good cover band or a local songwriter can be very inspiring. I would also encourage you to collaborate with other musicians. Now, you may be studying music, learning piano, keyboard, strictly for your own enjoyment. and that's great. I would encourage you to keep going. But there's something special about creating music with another musician. You can work with singers. You could even be part of a band. There's a lot more I can say about how you can grow as a musician in 2025. Rather than trying to say it all in one video, well, I'll be coming back to the subjects that I've mentioned here and many others that I believe will be of great benefit to you. And incidentally, if there's anything music related that you would like to hear more about, well, please be sure to mention it in the comment section. For as long as I am able, I will respond to every comment that I receive. Also, if you're not subscribed to the channel, I would encourage you to do that. It helps the channel a lot, like the video and all that stuff. Also, if you'd like to support my work, you can go to my Patreon page. I'm going to be redesigning my whole Patreon setup this year to offer more benefits to those of you who choose to support the channel. I really appreciate those of you who are already patrons, and I would encourage those of you who are not patrons to consider supporting At Home with Music. So thanks for watching this little introductory to 2025 video. Regular videos will resume quite shortly. I've got so much that I want to share with you. So many things that I want to teach you. So many things that I want to help you discover as you grow as a musician in this coming year. I look forward to speaking to you in the next one.